Don't you open up that window.
What you're seeing and hearing is the physical construction of a business. This is Brainville, a recording studio built in Sunland Park, New Mexico. The collective idea of 3 local musicians who want to help local artists accomplish their dreams.
Brainville, well, it goes back to that creative hub. You know, we're putting our ideas together, we're putting our expertise together, and we're wanting to collaborate with local musicians, regional musicians. That way, you know, it's a little tiny city of ideas, so we like Brainville for that.
Our main focus is music production. Bands bring their songs in and we help them get them down on tape or on hard disk and record and mix it, arrange the songs, and realize their creative vision for what they've been writing.
We are the bus that gets their ideas to tape. So they come in here with their ideas and we help them record, get their ideas out of their head and get them onto a CD. You need to get them comfortable, get them in a space that they feel artistically inspired, and get the final product out. You know, essentially, for every artist, their songs are their babies.
I met Sebastian there, and his band brought a record into mix, and we just kind of hit it off. He had recorded it himself, and we talked a lot about recording and things like that, and he started interning at that location. And eventually, we decided that we wanted to try to keep him on permanently, and he was interested in being a partner, so we gave him that opportunity and gave him that invitation to sign on as a partner. Evan I met when we recorded one of his bands, Gila Monster, at the old location. We worked together there, and then shortly after that, he approached me asking if I was looking for partners, and we just kind of talked it out, realized we had very similar goals and vision for the studio, and be a good strong partner. We're all musicians, so if someone needs us to step in and play a part or help them out with arrangements or something like that, we're always able and ready to do that. We enjoy the collaborative aspect of recording, so we're always eager and willing to jump in on a collaboration. But we can also just be the technicians if that's what they prefer and just handle the technical side. Standpoint of recording, engineering the records too, we can help with arrangements. We help them find musicians if they need outside, if they need a trumpet player or a string section or theremin or something like that, we can find someone around in town who can play that for you if we can't play it ourselves. Well, we have a combination of both analog and digital recording. We have a great analog console that we use. We have a 24-track tape machine, so you can do a completely analog record if you want. We also have a Pro Tools system for people who want to work digital, so we're flexible for both approaches or a hybrid of the two. We have a great collection of microphones and tons of instruments, amps, pedals, all the things that people would need, and a lot of things that they may not normally have in their own collection, so that they can come into the studio and hopefully, like we said, expand on what they would do on their own. They have those tools right at their fingertips. It's very easy to get creative and experiment.
Oh well, there's the construction of the building itself is very we have to take into account not just typical insulation just for the heat, but our insulation has to deal with sound isolation, so none of the sound from the outside gets into the recording. So
the way we have this building wired, every single room except for the restroom has lines in it for microphones and a headphone mix. So if you're in the lounge writing a song or you want to record something out in the parking lot, we can roll up the back door and run a microphone out there. If you're in the control room and you just love the way that sounds, or you want to be able to sit right by the mixer while you're doing vocals or guitar work or whatever, we have the wiring available to mic up anything in the room. We can also run speaker and instruments throughout the building, so you could play your guitar in the control room and have your amplifier in any other room. Just so there's a full flexibility as far as being able to record anywhere in the building and record as many people as, if we get to where this room's too full, we can stick you in the hallway, we can stick you in the lounge. We can stick you upstairs. That goes up to our second floor lounge. We have a lounge downstairs, just sort of the normal band hangout between takes or after you're finished kind of area. We have a second one upstairs for if someone in the band needs a quiet place to work on writing, or if they need a place to go crash and take a nap while the rest of the band's being noisy in the live room or in the lounge. Have separate places throughout the building where people can go to relax.
So this will be our secondary lounge space. Basically, sometimes during the process there may be someone who needs to rest or to come up and write lyrics in peace away from whoever's done with the recording and maybe down there watching movies or playing video games. This gives us a second place that we can go to to work or relax or kind of get out of the noise of the session and decompress and maybe have
I asked if it was all right if the bands could sleep there.
While they're on the clock, yeah, we're not a hotel, so.
So these are isolation rooms in the back where we'll be able to stick singers. So another thing that we like about this space is that we want to record people how they play live.
We've got 2 large isolation booths where we can put amplifiers or singers or guitars or anything you want to be able to keep separate from what's going on in the live room. Keep good separation in the mix process. Anytime you've got a full band recording at once, you've got a lot of loud sources. You've got drums, which can be very loud. You may have a really loud guitar amp or a bass amp. And to get the best possible sound for mixing, you ideally want to not have any of the drums on the guitars or the guitars on the drums, or at least a minimum of those sounds. So you can really, when you adjust the drum sounds, you're just adjusting the drums and not adjusting everything in the room. So these give you an opportunity to put amplifiers or singers or things like that away from the drums so that they're not going to have that same problem with the spill of sound.
Out here and the rest of the band together so they can make eye contact and just really feel like they're in their personal space where they're rehearsing or how they play live.
We provide instruments. We have guitars, drums, bass, piano, organs. Basically, you can walk in with nothing in your hands and leave with a finished record, or you're bringing your own equipment as well. We also have access to stuff outside of here we can bring in or rent or borrow. I've always been into music my whole life, and I've been pursuing this recording as a career for a long time, but I really saw a need in El Paso for affordable professional studios, somewhere where bands that don't have deep pockets or who aren't already wealthy or well established can still afford to spend time on their records to really expand on their sound and experiment and make sure they get their performances and their takes as perfect as possible, rather than having to rush through it or record on their own. If they don't want to do that, record on their own on weeknights or things like that. They can afford a full, true studio experience.
And everyone goes by hour or day, and typically, and we go by day. So it'll be a little different, and it'll be $200 a day, and that's usually an 8 to 10 hour day.
Another thing that really kind of separates us from some studios is a lot of studios run on a kind of tiered pricing basis where one project to the next, the rate may vary radically, as much as 50%, whereas for us, it's the same rate for every musician, no matter if you're just starting out, whether you're hugely successful, whether you've got a ton of money, whether you're flat broke. We charge the same thing for everyone. We kind of want to have a fair level playing field in addition to being accessible to anyone. While it's not necessarily the best time in history to be opening a large recording studio, like I said, I saw the need in El Paso for something that bridges a gap between recording at home or with your friend who has a small setup in their house and going and spending $1,000 a day at a high-end professional studio somewhere else or outside of town. So we wanted to kind of fill that gap, to make it more accessible to people who wouldn't have large budgets to be able to have the full studio experience, spend time making their record, have access to different equipment, instruments, and professional engineering help. We want to kind of provide a similar experience of having a space that's very conducive to creative recording and to, where people can come in and just put everything into their record, not have to worry about distractions, not have to worry about anything beyond just making the best possible record and handling that side. But we wanted to do it on a scale that musicians could afford a little more easily than Sonic Ranch. When you have the finance to cover it, Sonic Ranch is an amazing place to record, but it's just out of the reach for a lot of musicians, especially in El Paso. And so we wanted to kind of provide a similar service, but at a more affordable price point.
And we'll have a tape deck, and for anybody who wants to go analog and to experience that warmth and the brightness that the tape offers, well, they could use that option and record here. As of right now, the only other studio that offers tape recording, analog recording, is at Sonic Ranch in Tornillo.
Another thing we do that a lot of places don't anymore is fully analog recording with our tape machine. We can record live to tape, we can mix from the tape, or you can do a combination of that in Pro Tools. And as of right now, we're the only studio in the city limits that rolls tape. Sonic Ranch has tape machines as well, but they're all the way out in Tornillo in a different price point. Now most recordings are done onto computer, like digital Pro Tools or a similar program. Prior to that, they used to record on 2-inch wide open reel-to-reel tapes. And that's how everything prior to probably the mid-90s, almost everything was done that way. Certainly most of the classic records, everything in the 60s, 70s, so on, was that way. And then in the 90s, digital started to come in and take over. But a lot of studios sold their tape machines, so that skill set has been lost to a lot of people. But we still record analog, give people that option. It's sort of a different experience, a different mindset. It doesn't give you the endless track counts and endless editing abilities of Pro Tools, which kind of makes you focus in a little more on what you're recording, make you plan a little harder, and maybe step up a little bit on your playing to make sure you get a perfect take without the need to go in and slice and dice and move notes around and pitch correct vocals and things like that. We do also pull a lot from Las Cruces. We've done records with several different Las Cruces artists, and we have a few on the calendar already. There's a pretty strong scene up there, which when I moved back here was really neat to see. There wasn't much that I remember when I first lived here, but now Las Cruces has a real strong, vibrant scene with a lot of really great artists, and we've been really thrilled that many of them have come to work with us at Brainville.
The high ceilings improve the acoustics. The higher the ceiling, especially in the live room, the better, the more balanced sound, the larger the sound. So in the live room, we've got 15-foot ceilings. The control room will be 13 feet. This is our control room. We'll have the mixing console and all our equipment, tape machine, the Pro Tools rig, and all that. The room is designed as what's called a reflection-free zone, where these front walls are angled such that when you're sitting in the mixer, you're only hearing the sound from the speakers. You're not going to get any interference. So you get a real accurate and balanced view of what you're putting on tape, what you're recording. Got a nice large window so you can see in the live room for communication with the bands and artists.
The creators of Brainville have a message to all of those who want to create music.
We want to help you guys make your music, and that's the most important part, is this collaboration that we're going to be doing with our community, where bring us your ideas and we will help you make a physical representation of it, so you can have it to share with your friends and your loved ones.
Anyone that's interested in recording, anyone that has any musical inspiration and wants to come and check it out, give us a call. Email us and come and check it out. Let's make some music, make a record.
We have a Facebook page. You can contact us there. You can also email us, info@brainvillemusic.com, or come find us at a show. We try to be out. We all play in bands, and we try to go see as many bands as we can. So if you see us out there, just come up and talk to us. We're open. Our door is open to any musicians. There's not any qualifications or test to get in the door. Just give us a call. Drop us an email.
I asked the guys what advice they had for the musicians of the Borderland.
Time. Just play as many shows as you can, write as many songs as you can, make it as much of your day as a day-to-day thing as possible. Talk to anyone and everyone about your band, let them know about it, and just keep playing.
Buckle down. Really know that you want to do this. Get your claws into the ground and stay there. Work hard. Practice a lot. It's a passion, and music will always be driving you. And so if you let that sort of inform your journey and let the passion push you forward, you'll do good.
I'd say just figure out what you want to do, what kind of music you want to play, and find your market. Build your team. Make sure that you have bandmates that you can rely on, and keep your vision strong and just, stay at it.
Right now, you hear the sounds of hammers and drills, but pretty soon it'll be the sounds of local musicians playing their music. In Sunland Park, New Mexico, at Brainville, I'm Will Heron with ABC7. How's it going, everybody? Thank you very much for watching that episode of Brainville. If you enjoyed it, you can click that like button. It's free. It's just a little move of the mouse. Click. If you enjoy episodes like that on the Southwest and El Paso area, the Borderland, why don't you click subscribe, and I'll keep throwing more videos at you. Again, thank you very much for watching that, and have yourself a great day, great evening. 2, 1. Right now, you hear the sounds of hammers banging and drills going. But pretty soon, you'll be hearing the music of local artists from El Paso and the surrounding areas. At Brainsville in Sunland Park, New Mexico, I'm Will Heron. I said Brainsville, didn't I? Fantastic.
The audio file,
Yeah, for Brainsville. All right. Right, 3.